Welcome to MindShift Daily Channel. Controlling your mouth, mood, money, and mind is not about suppression or denial, it's about empowerment. It's about gaining mastery over the very tools that shape our destiny. And it all begins with a single decision to develop a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities, intelligence, and talents can be developed through dedication, hard work, and resilience. It's not just a motivational buzzword, it's a transformative philosophy that can change the trajectory of your life. When you learn to control your mouth, you learn the power of words. Words can build or break, heal or harm, inspire or injure. Most people speak without thinking, react without reflection, and damage relationships, opportunities, and reputations in the process. But when you choose your words with intention, when you speak with kindness, clarity, and conviction, you elevate not just yourself, but everyone around you. The tongue may be small, but its impact is massive. Speaking life into your circumstances, into others, and into your future requires discipline. It demands awareness. Every time you're tempted to complain, gossip, or lash out, ask yourself, will this move me closer to the person I want to become? Will this reflect the character I am striving to build? Imagine the ripple effect if more people paused before speaking, chose silence over sarcasm, or encouragement over criticism. That's power. That's control. That's growth. Controlling your mood is equally crucial. Emotions are natural, but they should not dictate our behavior or dominate our decisions. A growth mindset teaches us that we can feel deeply yet act wisely. Too often, people are ruled by how they feel in the moment. They snap in anger, shut down in sadness, or give up in frustration. But imagine if you could acknowledge your emotions without being enslaved by them. Emotional intelligence is not about ignoring your feelings. It's about understanding them and choosing your response. Mood control starts with self-awareness, identifying your triggers, patterns, and tendencies. It continues with strategies like deep breathing, reframing thoughts, and practicing gratitude. When you shift from reaction to reflection, you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start being a creator of outcomes. Think of the most successful people you admire. They don't let a bad day ruin their vision or a tough moment destroy their momentum. They feel the emotion, process it, and move forward with purpose. That's resilience. That's emotional maturity. That's the mindset of a champion. Then comes money, an area that tests many people's discipline, beliefs, and values. Controlling your money is not about hoarding wealth or obsessing over numbers. It's about being intentional. Money is a tool. It amplifies who you are. If you lack self-control, money will magnify that chaos. If you have clarity and purpose, money will fuel your dreams. A growth mindset shifts your relationship with money from fear to faith, from scarcity to strategy. You begin to see money not as something that controls you, but as something you can control. That starts with budgeting, not restricting, but redirecting your resources toward what truly matters. It includes investing not just financially, but in your skills, network, and vision. It involves saving not out of fear, but out of wisdom. And it demands giving not just out of abundance, but out of principle. When you manage money with intention, you reduce stress, increase freedom, and align your finances with your purpose. Real-life success stories abound people who rose from poverty to prosperity by applying consistent, intentional financial habits. They didn't get lucky, they got focused. They learned, they adapted, and they grew. That's financial empowerment. That's stewardship. That's the fruit of a growth mindset applied to money. But perhaps the most foundational of all is controlling your mind. The mind is the battlefield where every victory begins. If you win in your mind, you can win in your life. But if you lose there, it's only a matter of time before it shows up in your actions, habits, and results. A growth mindset is rooted in the belief that the mind is malleable. Neuroplasticity backs this up. Our brains can rewire, adapt, and evolve. What does that mean for you? It means you're not stuck. It means you can unlearn what no longer serves you and embrace new patterns that propel you. It means that with every book you read, every challenge you face, and every failure you grow through, you are expanding your mental capacity. But this doesn't happen automatically. You must be intentional about what you feed your mind. Are you consuming content that lifts you or limits you? Are your thoughts empowering or paralyzing? Do you dwell on problems or focus on possibilities? Thought management is life management. If you think small, you'll live small. But if you think big, if you think growth, you'll begin to see opportunities in every obstacle. Meditation, journaling, affirmations, and learning are just a few tools that sharpen the mind. But none of them work without consistency. Success is not about intensity, it's about intentional, repeated action. The mind, like any muscle, strengthens with use. Train it daily and it will serve you well. So what happens when you bring all four together: mouth, mood, money, and mind under the umbrella of a growth mindset? Transformation. You become someone who doesn't just react to life, but leads it. You speak with wisdom, feel with awareness, spend with intention, and think with purpose. You stop being a passenger and become the driver. And yes, challenges still come. Life still throws curveballs. But with a growth mindset, every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every difficulty is a doorway to discovery. Every failure is fertilizer for your future. Real change doesn't come from motivation alone, it comes from mindset. The way you speak, feel, spend, and think are all reflections of what you believe about yourself and your potential. Start small. Control your words today. Replace one complaint with one compliment. Manage your mood. Take 5 deep breaths before reacting. Make one better money decision. Skip one impulse buy and save it instead. Choose one empowering thought and dwell on it for a minute. That's how growth begins, in moments, in choices, in small wins. And those small wins compound. Over time, they become habits. Habits become character. Character becomes destiny. Don't underestimate the power of incremental progress. Don't dismiss the significance of one decision, because every great transformation begins with a choice. Today, choose to control your mouth, mood, money, and mind, not for perfection, but for progress. Not for appearance, but for purpose. Not just to survive, but to thrive. That's the journey. That's the mindset. That's the life you were born to lead.